Let's see if I can completely screw with the lighting. Yeah, that pretty much did. Well, hi everybody, I'm Erin, and today I'm going to be doing a bit of a March 12th March Mystery Madness chat. Just want to talk about what I've been reading in the month of March. So yeah, I'm going to talk about what I've been reading in March. I'm going to slow down a bit too. So, for my March Mystery Madness challenges, I picked Ian Rankin's The Hanging Garden as my book for the foreign challenge, and I have completed this, and it was fantastic. It's interesting watching Inspector Rebus go down into darker and darker places and get more and more desperate. Yeah, I'm fascinated by this now, and I kind of want to get the next one in the series, which I thought I had, but I can't find it anywhere, which is Dead Souls, because it's just getting really good. And I mean, this is book 9. We've got a long way to go, so I'm hoping that he starts repairing some of the damage he's done, soon. Otherwise, like, he's kind of going to be a hopeless case. I have to drop my books because I have nowhere to put them, because I wasn't planning. Next up, I had new, for the new challenge, I picked Irish Stewed by Kylie Logan. This is a cozy mystery set in a small town in the United States, and basically, I believe it's Ohio. So this woman returns to Ohio after her career kind of falls apart in LA, and she joins her aunt, who isn't really her aunt, but she calls her aunt. And she's going to help her aunt out while her aunt has surgery in her aunt's restaurant. But then she quickly discovers that there's a lot of lies that she's been told about the situation in Ohio. And the first night she's there, her aunt discover a dead body, and you know, it's a cozy mystery, right? So this is the first in the series. It was published in 2016, so the second one is out now. It was published in 2017, and I think I'm gonna read it. I think I'll continue on with the series, and it's nice to be actually getting in early instead of late, which is what I usually do. So hey, it's only 2 books instead of like 21. My challenge for, what was this challenge? Historical. We'll call this the historical one. This is Under the Dragon's Tail by Maureen Jennings. This is the Murdoch Mysteries. If you watch CBC and if you're in Canada, this is what the TV series is based on. I will say that the books don't match the TV series very much. So even given the cover on this, I expected, you know, 3 of those characters to actually play a much bigger role in this story than they did. And one of those characters isn't even in the book, which was kind of disappointing. But Crabtree is there, of course. Corporal Crabtree and Murdoch, of course, is there. So, but yeah, it's different than the TV series, which wasn't a bad thing. This is much more of a strict police procedural. While you get into William's personal life a little bit, it doesn't go nearly as in depth into his personal life as it does in the TV series. So yeah, that's Under the Dragon's Tail by Maureen Jennings. That's actually the second in the series. I didn't realize that when I bought it. I think I thought it was the first one. Oops. It's not. These are still mysteries, but they weren't picked as part of my TBR, so they didn't really fulfill any challenges. But I have The Chocolate Cat Caper by Joanna Carl, and this one is, like, I think this was written in the 90s, so it's been around a bit. There are 15 or 16 books in the series. Don't quote me on that. But it is about a woman who kind of gives up the standard cozy mystery premise, right? A woman gives up her life because of insert life-changing decision here, as she returns home or goes to a small town, whichever that is. But she returns home, and not really home. She returns to where she spent her summers. Her parents, when they were going through a divorce, sent her off in the summer to go work in her aunt's chocolate shop in Michigan. Michigan. So she, wow, So yeah, she is quickly embroiled in a mystery when a woman eats one of her aunt's chocolates and is found to be poisoned. Yeah, so that's, and the cat on the front cover is actually supposed to be a chocolate version of a cat. Yeah, so that is Chocolate Cat Caper by Joanna Carl. It was much better than I expected it to be, especially for as short as it was, and I thought it was really good. So if you like cozy mysteries and you don't mind starting in a long series, I recommend it. Next up, I found at my library a in the true crime section, oddly enough, and I kind of giggled because this actually fits. March Mystery Madness, The Man Who Loved Books Too Much. So this is the true story of a con man who traded in valuable books, so original manuscripts, like first editions, all of that stuff, right? The valuable books, not the kind I've got on my shelves. So yeah, and about book collectors, amateur detective that caught him. So yeah, that was The Man Who Loved Books Too Much. It doesn't get very good reviews on Goodreads, but it wasn't a bad book. I really enjoyed the story, and I gotta tell you guys, like, this kind of would have fit if I'd known about it sooner for my opposites, because all of the rest of my books are fiction, and this one is nonfiction. So there. But yeah, The Man Who Loved Books Too Much by Alison Hoover Bartlett. And then I picked up at my library, we'll start with last week I was kind of going through a little bit of a period where I just wanted to change everything. I was looking at the snow everywhere around me and I was like, I don't want to live here. I'm tired of living here. And so one of the things that I picked up, oddly enough, was Becoming an Expat Mexico, Your Guide to Moving Abroad. I was hoping that this would give more information about how to find jobs in other countries and stuff like that, like what, what are good careers for expats in countries like Mexico or, Europe or something like that, because I'm in IT, and yeah, there's going to be IT jobs in Mexico, but I don't think that they're going to be quite as plentiful as they are here, and they're probably going to be filled. Is there a niche or something like that people are filling by moving to these countries? And it didn't give me that information, but it did give me a lot of information. This is by Shannon Innate and Noah Steinberg DeStefano. And it gives you a lot of information about Mexico, where to live, what some good areas are to live in, deciding whether you want to live in an expat community or whether you want to, go and live with the locals, how you want to immigrate, so the actual immigration process, the types of visas, all of that stuff, and just about like the stages when you actually do leave your country and move to another country, sort of that process that you're going to go through adjusting to a brand new culture, the culture shock. So it was interesting, but unfortunately it didn't give me any contact information of people that would give me a job, and so I have more work to do. And yeah, so it was a lot more specific than I expected it to be, I guess. I was hoping for a bit more general information, but the really specific stuff is, what I should have expected, because it was a book about moving to Mexico. And then the other thing is, when I went on vacation, I had a bit of a moment, a soul-destroying moment, shall we say, on the way there, and I don't really want to get into it, but it really made me look at my life and my life choices and stuff about myself. And I spent my week in Hawaii eating vegetarian. And mainly because when you eat in restaurants, you start eating the meat dishes, they get a little heavy, right? So I didn't eat specifically like all vegetarian, but I did. Like, I picked a lot of veggie heavy dishes. I picked a lot of, steamed fish, grilled fish, that kind of thing. And I stayed away from the other meats. And I kind of looked at it and I went, I'm in Hawaii. I've got this unlimited supply of fresh produce and fish. Why am I eating cow and pig? Yes, I know they also raise them there, but I can get those where I live. So I really, I focused on eating lighter, I focused on eating healthier, and part of it was just, you know, maybe skipping the meat in some of my meals or some days completely. So as a result of that, I actually felt really good during my trip to Hawaii. Now, it could have been the sun, it could have been the vacation, the lack of stress, it could have been the diet, it could have been any number of things. But when I got back, I decided that I wanted to maintain that and hopefully let these healthy habits continue. And so as I was browsing through my library, I noticed this book, Meatless, by Christy Middleton, and she is actually the Senior Director of Food Policy for the Humane Society of the United States. And so this book talks about not going vegetarian. Like she kind of does promote going vegetarian, but she also says, you know what, if you just ate meat less, you could have a significant impact on the environment, on your health, on a lot of things. And I'm down with that. I am. And then I thought, you know, I'm interested in the recipes, because it comes with recipes, as any good diet book does, right? But I was really disappointed because this actually goes way further. This goes into the vegan side of it, right? So there's a recipe here for berry scones, which is great, but I have a recipe for scones. I don't need another recipe for scones. And I'm not going to go the vegan route. Like, I'm not going to skip and try to find a dairy-free substitute at this point in my journey. Same with milk, right? I'm going to continue to consume dairy products and that kind of stuff, but I'm trying to do better. So I was kind of disappointed in that, because what I was looking for was some options for things that would be good to take for work, for lunches and stuff, and I didn't find that. But I did get some more reasons to continue cutting meat out of my diet. So that's kind of interesting. I'm not going to cut it out completely because I don't like too much stuff like bacon. But in the meantime, I can certainly try to eat healthier and make some steps that way. So that is what I've read in the first 12 days of March. It's been a little crazy. I don't know why I've read that many books, but I have. How are you guys doing? Are you participating in March Mystery Madness? And yeah, you know what? I missed my shout out for this video. I want to talk about Eric Peterson. I believe that's his name. So he is a booktuber that I actually discovered through the March Mystery Madness TBRs that I was watching. And he's a lot like me in that he does, like today, or not today, but the video I watched today, which was a recent video of his, I think it was yesterday's, or anyway. He did a video, not a library book haul, a secondhand store book haul. And basically he went and he spent a day, he devoted a day to going to like used book sales and used bookstores and finding all these books, and like bag sales where you get them for, you know, fill a bag for this much money. And he picked up all of these awesome old paperbacks. So some Louis L'Amour's, he reads everything. Again, he's a little like me in that. So he likes his used books. He will read anything. And so I was really excited to watch that video because I like that. So he was talking about Spencer novels, a lot of crime. He obviously reads crime, and it was a really good video. So I think if you haven't checked him out yet, that's Eric Peterson. I will put a link to his channel down below. But I really do like his videos, and it's another male booktuber, guys. So be sure to check him out. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye!